Ceremonious Rejections, 2 Spell Pierce, 2 Dispel, 2 Hurkyl's Recall, 3 Dismember, 2 Tidebinder Mages here for our Merfolk player Andrew Anderson on your left. He's 7-0 with the Fishies. And then for Jonathan, he's got Ceremonious Rejections of his own, Relics, Runed Halos, Stony Silence, Dispel, Aware Tear, Rest in Peace, Anger the Gods, which is nice against Fish, Supreme Verdict, which is also nice against Fish, Vendilion Clique, and an Elspeth Sun's Champion, which is also nice against Fish. So we'll get an idea of how these players do sideboard here in just a moment.
Yeah, I mean, the key for Andrew is to get that Vial on the board and just come out quick.
Yeah.
You know, he needs a couple of Lords early and then just back it up with all of these counter spells that he brings in out of the board.
Yeah, the Spell Pierces, the Dispels, those will be pretty good. But he doesn't have much past that. Relic Virginitas might come in because he knows that Jonathan has Snapcaster Mage. So maybe those come in.
But one of the problems, I mean, Jonathan's deck, it's just geared to beat these fairly fair creature decks. You know, he's got such efficient removal, and then he's got so much card advantage going on too, that it's hard for this Merfolk deck to get the jump on him too quick. You know, 4 Bolts, 4 Path Exiles, 3 Lightning Helix, Electrolyzes. You know, he just has so much early interaction that it's hard for me to foresee his doors just getting blown off.
Well, Jonathan going to be taking a look at 6 cards here, it looks like in just a moment. Merfolk being 7-0, a bit of a surprise there, at least for me. I never give the Fishies enough credit, though. Fish is like a deck where the matchups where it's good and like can't possibly lose. The matchups where it's bad, it feels like it cannot possibly win.
You think it's that lopsided?
I feel like a lot of the time where it has like a bad matchup or a card it can't beat, it's just like, all right, I'm dead. You know, like in Snaring Bridge, it's like, all right, I can't win.
Sure.
Like that's just it.
Yeah, the game 1 in Snaring Bridge.
Yeah, it's all right. We're done.
How could you show up with that card?
Yeah.
What the heck, man?
There are some times where it just feels like it just has no chance, and there are other times where it's just like, man, I got paired against Merfolk. I can't win. We're underway. Curse Catcher. We'll go over to Jonathan.
That is a very basic island.
It's the most basic island. Hashtag basic.
Taps for half a blue.
Yeah. Basic.
We see Rosum taking a little time here. Often with these control decks and their lands, what you do on the first turn determines your next 4 turns.
Yeah, with decks like this, you want to try to take as little damage as possible from your lands as well. So he's just going to play a Fluttershy. He almost plays Steam Vents on tap. Now he'll just pass the turn back.
Had change of heart in there.
Maybe the Curse Catcher being there changed some things. Here comes Curse Catcher. Second land is a Mutavault. Ooh, no play. Little surprise there. Perhaps Andrew was going to try to play a Spreading Seas on turn 2. But a fetch land made that not a possibility.
Yeah, Rosum has to really like seeing his opponent pass on turn 2 there.
There were spots to be in.
Oh, yeah.
Say that. There's a Steam Vents. Pass the turn back. Let's go over to Andrew Anderson. Dispel the draw. In for 1 with Curse Catcher. Oh boy.
Yeah, that's a rough one.
That's bad news here for our Merfolk player. No third land, no creature to follow up, no lords, no nothing.
Jonathan.
Jonathan thinking about bolting again?
Well, he untapped his tap land, then he tapped it again, and he's tapped his untapped land, and he untapped it.
Yeah. First couple of turns been a rough go.
Just a little bit of indecision there.
For John, that's okay though. He's made it out alive at 17.
Yeah, he's under a lot of pressure here.
Cavern of Souls is here.
All right, Cavern, not bad.
Well, that's fine. Name Merfolk, most likely.
Kithkin.
Oh, definitely not Kithkin.
The floor, they let us know.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, he could have named Spirit for Kira Great Glass Spinner there, Joker. Joker.
You don't appreciate me.
You just realized that now? It's like our 8th show. I thought I'd gotten that across way earlier. In for 2!
Jeez.
With a curse catcher. Don't take it personal.
That was too honest.
But take it personal.
Oh, okay.
What do we got here? Supreme? No, Supreme Warrior can't cast. Anger of the Gods, I guess? Yeah, all right.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, definitely make him pay 1.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. All right, back over to Andrew. Picked up an island. Where are we going to go now?
Looks like he has a spreading season there.
He's got a Master of the Pearl Trident. Maybe getting a little shot with the Mutavault. Nope, just going to pass. Couldn't have got a little 3-ball in. Decided not to. Let's see, Colonnade. Pass. There's a Bolt on upkeep.
All right, I like this.
Yep.
From Jonathan's side.
Here's a Dispel. An attempt to counter. Spell Queller. Looks like it's going to eat Dispel.
Yeah, probably not eating the lightning bolt, right?
Yeah, probably not. Probably not. All right, Andrew. He'll draw. That all took place in his upkeep. Looking to get a little something established. Marrow Regery. Uncounterable. Go back over to Jonathan. He'll untap his 5 lands. He's got a Spell Queller on the battlefield. Path to Exile in hand. He might be pathing right now. He is. Andrew going to search up an island.
Yeah, Jonathan not messing around here.
He'll play a Flooded Strand, attack for 2 here with the Spell Queller. Got to bring Andrew down to 18.
And we see just the value of these efficient spells where, you know, Andrew's playing such cheap creatures. He still has to spend more mana playing the creatures than his opponent spends removing them. So it's very possible that Anderson has had, you know, maybe another counterspell in his hand here, and he just hasn't had a chance to play it.
No, let's see how Anderson wants to move forward here. He's got a couple cards in. Master of Waves among them. Jonathan, as we mentioned, does have a Cryptic Command. Here's Curse Catcher. Huh. Felt that was important enough to resolve that he used the Cavern.
Yeah, that was a card that he could have probably just played for an island.
Yeah, I think it would have been okay. This is one of the things that's difficult about playing against a Jeskai control deck, though, if you're not experienced doing it. The kind of bobbing and weaving and sequencing of spells.
Sure, and it can often feel like they have a lot more counter spells than they do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of the decks that we call control decks these days don't play nearly as many counter spells as they would have 5 or 10 years ago.
This is going to be draw a card, bounce Mutavault, but Spell Pierce is going to counter that. Okay. One of the things when you're playing Jeskai control, you know, clearly you don't want to run into all their stuff, or you at least want to try to mitigate that as best you can, but I also don't want to give them a lot of time because of stuff like this. Colonnade and Spell Queller are coming over. Yeah, like this is a 3-turn clock now.
Yeah, this starts adding up quick.
And also, the more time you give them, the more time they get the opportunity to draw into answers. You're clearly going to have a little bit of fear around Supreme Verdict and Anger of the Gods, but at the same time, you got to start unloading. So there's Master. Now here's Path with the trigger on the stack. So Curse Catcher could make Jonathan pay one more, but he's got a Scalding Tarn at the ready.
Yeah, I don't think Andrew wants to lose 2 creatures to this Path to Exile.
Nah, it'd be a really good path.
But I mean, he's so far behind here, I'm not sure it matters what happens.
He's a search for a land. Truthfully, he needs to find a Spreading Seas or some way to deal with his Colonnade.
Yeah, Spreading Seas would be very strong.
That's the biggest problem right now.
Well, and this is one of the problems with the Merfolk deck is they don't generate tons of card advantage. They draw extra cards with Silvergill Adept, and that's about it.
Yeah.
So once they're out of cards, he's just drawing 1 card a turn, and it's really hard to play catch-up in a situation like that. Just drawing 2/2s for 2. You know, this deck has to play from ahead.
It's kind of what you see is what you get with the draw steps with Merfolk. You don't really get many extras. Here comes Mutavault and Curse Catcher. Jonathan's going to sacrifice that land pretty quickly. He'll search for a Hallowed Fountain. So it's 12-10. But right now, the Just Got Control players looking like he's in the driver's seat. Until he broke a sleeve, maybe.
I think he thought he flipped it around while he was shuffling.
Got it.
If you've ever shuffled a deck with some cards going opposite directions and sleeves, it's not fun.
It's not my favorite thing. All right, back to Jonathan we go. Picked up a land to go with a Lightning Bolt. We're going to see Colonnade get fired up again.
Yeah, Colonnade plus this other 2/3 flyer plus Lightning Bolt. I think he's just going to be able to walk away with this game.
In for 6. I think Spreading Seas is very important if it's still in Andrew Anderson's deck. Draw a card. I think I see a Master of Waves. And something that's white bordered, which leads me to believe it's Lord of Atlantis.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of white border cards.
Not really. There is Master of Waves. Now there's 2 Elementals.
Man, we just have everything.
Yeah. Well, jobs are on the line. You don't have it, you're gone. Brutal.
Yeah, this is rough working for you guys.
Brutal. Don't even think about not having a token.
Hey, dude, we'd like to hire you for this event. No.
No. Attack for 5.
Too much pressure.
Jonathan with Lightning Bolt, the last card in his hand. I mean, it appears to me that he's clear for takeoff. Yeah, just an attack for 4. Excuse me. Master Wave's going to pump Mutavault, but not Curse Catcher. I guess he just doesn't know what the last card is. I'm going to take the 4. It's 6 all. He says, I'll Lightning Bolt you. Andrew says, I'm down to 3. All right, you going to activate that Colonnade or not? That's the question.
Yeah, will he figure it out?
Yeah, picked up a Snapcaster Mage, so now it just might not matter.
Yeah, now you go Snapcaster Bolt. And I think he has enough mana to do the Colonnade attack and Snapcaster Bolt. So he just has it all, even if his opponent has a way to interact with the Colonnade.
It all lines up well.
Yeah, if Andrew uses his last card to interact with the Colonnade, then Jonathan's clear for the Snapcaster Bolt. And we see Rosum just taking a little bit of time here, make sure he's not missing something obvious.
Always smart to do. Trying to think of what the card could be. Something like a vapor snag. Attack for the air. That's going to do it. Jonathan Rosum's going to win this match.
It's so funny that he's stressing about this when he just had everything.
Yeah, but that's how it goes sometimes when you're getting deep into a tournament.
Yeah.